Hey, hello. Welcome to episode number 38 of the People We Love podcast. I am Adam Choit. What's up? This week, something that I love is Post-it notes. I love them all, different sizes. I try to back up everything digitally or just do what's on the Post-it, but it makes it easy just to jot down something real quick. And the Post-it sticks to stuff. Anyway, if you're new here, this podcast is called People We Love. And what I do is interview people from all walks of life about their lives and careers, but I also ask them to highlight one person who inspired or influenced them. The conversations are casual, and living here in Los Angeles, I often interview people who work in the entertainment business, especially comedians. But I've also interviewed an ex-con, my grandmother, and a former major league pitcher, so it really is all walks of life. So yeah, for everything about this show, check out peoplewelovepodcast.com. Everything you need is there. Social media, episode archive, links to listening options. That's peoplewelovepodcast.com. And the Instagram handle is peoplewelovepodcast. And remember to tap subscribe or follow on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. And of course, 5-star positive reviews on iTunes are greatly appreciated as well. So, today's guest is comedian, actor, yoga teacher, and high-energy human being, Rasika Mathur. She tells me all about growing up in Houston, Texas, her journey to Los Angeles, and her love for one particular performer who's a legend. That's the one and only Robin Williams, who we lost from this world way too soon. Rasika tells me about her time living in Chicago as a copywriter, but Chicago is also where she discovered her love for improv and yoga. So yeah, she tells me which of my chakras are all out of whack as well. Oh, and we recorded this one on Rasika's birthday, which I imagine is the best way for anybody to celebrate. Let's just get started. Here's Rasika Mathur. Good to see you today, Rasika Mathur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam Choit?
Choit, you got it?
Choit.
No, I don't think that's it, although I've gotten that before.
We need to edit
I've
that.
gotten all of them before.
What are the others? Choit.
Choit, we'll get.
Do you get...
Choi, French.
Ooh. Schwa?
Yeah.
Do you get chode? That would suck.
No, I don't get that one.
Good. Well, I'm sorry. I was the first.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. What about your name?
Always Rasika. Doesn't matter where they're from. Black, white, Persian, Canadian.
Yeah.
Everyone sees an invisible H after the S. It is not there, people. It's in my last name.
Yeah.
It's Rasika or Rusika.
Why not Rasika? Do you ever get that?
Why do you go there? Please tell me what you're all thinking. Why do you need to say it that way?
Well, because I thought that would be okay to say because
why?
There's no H. At least I didn't put the H, and that's what I'm falling back on.
So then why do you have to treat the I like an E? Why can't it be an I?
I guess it is an I.
You just think, it's
Yeah,
an
well,
ethnic 3-syllable name, and it must
Accent
be
goes-
Rasika.
Yeah, that's right.
Man,
I think now we're even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chote.
Yeah. Anyway, how's your day going?
It's just been such a great birthday. I'm
Oh, yeah, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
aware of how beautiful life is. Thank you.
What are you doing here?
That's why I wanted to do this, because why the F not? Like, I don't know. This is like, to me, this is a special thing, and it implies making peace with a certain aspect of my life, I think this is entertainment related. And a lot of times this year I've wanted to quit.
Really? We're going to get into it, huh?
We're going to have to just get into it.
We're going to have to get into it. Wow. Okay. So why don't you tell me about, we'll get started. Where did you grow up? You're from Canada, but you moved to Houston. How long were you in Canada for? In
just
Ottawa?
2 years. We were in kind of like the, Ottawa basically. But my dad needed to use his degree to start working.
Yeah.
So we moved to Houston because he's a geophysicist. He's retired now. And so we just needed to be near the Gulf of Mexico. So I have grown up around Houston, New Orleans, and then I flew away to UT Austin. It's really rude to burp on a podcast, right?
Did you just burp?
No, but
You can. I can always edit it out.
it just won't be interesting like an alphabet. It's just going to be boring old. That cake's coming up.
Oh, man.
It's like a golf ball in my fourth chakra. Okay, it passed.
You like to keep it real.
Really real. And then Chicago is part of my adulthood, and then LA.
Okay, so we covered all
I
the places.
just got them all for you.
Well, so you first moved from Ottawa to Houston, you said. And how long were you in Houston for?
16 years.
See, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I really grew up. Went to school.
That's where you grew up. So why don't you tell me about like what it was like? What are your earliest memories of Houston when you were 4, 5, 6 years old? What do you remember from that time?
I remember loving what a multicultural city it was. Like our early friends were Black, Filipino, street signs were in Chinese. You know, so a lot of people were immigrating to there. And I'm really fortunate that I went to public schools where we grew up with everybody. But because when we went to college, that's when you see damn, there's a lot of Indian people out there. And then you go with them because everybody formed their multicultural groups. But I'm just so glad. I don't want to be someone who grew up not seeing a different colored person. Sure. That's not reality. And so being that it was my reality, I know that's why I'm open-minded and have learned a ton of languages and love just, I'm tolerant. I'm just tolerant. We need more tolerance from people.
I agree. They say that
people who
I was gonna say here. That must make you pretty tolerant.
I think so. Yeah. Of Jewish podcasters.
Yes.
Right.
There you go.
You guys are a dying breed.
I thought you were gonna say really. Dime a dozen.
Yeah. Well, and I just think that there's actually research that says if you know more than one language, you're actually more intelligent. Just let that sink in to people who are not tolerant. Like the more you allow another culture to even be part of your life, the wider your eyes can see, the more like your brain can actually function and work problems out.
No, that's deep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. No, that's cool. So your parents were...
I subtly got political, but yes, let's move on.
Your parents were immigrants?
They were, yeah. So they'd be considered the first generation, and I would be the second.
From India?
From India,
yeah. And you said there was not a big Indian community in Houston, or was there?
There was. Like we would just occasionally see kind of like, I guess, other movies that have come out have shown this, that you might grow up in a city and then the Indian people would kind of form a community like that. You'd see each other maybe once a month at someone's house, little Indian parties or Mathur parties.
Yeah.
Other people with my last name. And that's how our parents could feel like, I didn't just leave India and know nobody. I formed my circle of friends who then kind of become your family.
I got you, but it wasn't something like that where you lived in the same neighborhood as other Indian people and you hung out all the time.
Everything
it was more like
so far away.
Yeah, it was more. Oh yeah, Houston's a big sprout city,
it's
right?
Huge. They made it seem like we're going out to Katy and Sugarland, and now when I go back to Houston, that stuff's like 15 minutes away. So I don't know what they were doing.
Don't they got traffic down in Houston too?
And it just keeps expanding out. If you just look at the map, there's like loops in the middle.
Yeah.
And it just goes out and out and out into the Gulf, into Louisiana. It just spreads out.
I was going to ask, how's the traffic in Houston compared to LA? But I guess you just kind of described it, at least visually.
It's not as bad as here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't drive when I'm there.
We win. I don't know.
We win.
We win the worst traffic award.
India would win the worst.
Yeah.
But they don't have accidents. They don't have any street signs.
I watched the YouTube videos on driving on India.
No way. But that's why there's like 3 billion gods. They're helping.
They need them all.
They're helping.
They're the ways.
Red light.
All the 3 billion gods are.
My guy's gonna go.
The one video I watched in India, where the people were driving and it looked like complete chaos. Is that an anomaly or is that?
That's it. That's the major cities.
Yeah.
And it's like we're all
just go. Everyone just
going,
yeah.
And we'll just be gentle, and you're gonna move over for me. And it's always a holy shit moment when you've visited from America, and these brave ass wives are just side slung on that motorcycle with their sari all flapping into like the technology and the mechanics of the motorcycle. It's crazy.
I don't know if I could do this. I know that they have some nice markets and other things to see there, but I don't know if I'm ready for that.
It's a lot.
I think we should get back to Houston.
Hey, you're driving this baby.
I am. I'm steering it. I'm trying.
We got stuck in traffic in India, but we're back.
Yeah, we're back. So tell me about Tell me more about Houston and your childhood. What did you do?
Apparently, it's also Beyonce's birthday today, and she went to my high school years after me.
Yeah, she's from Houston.
Yeah, we all went to Alief Elsick High School. What's up, Rams?
How many people were in your graduating high school class?
770, and I kept checking my class rank. It was always 20, 21. One time it was at 16, and I was obsessive about it.
Academic?
The GPA. We were very obsessed.
Is that like a public?
We had a rank, yes. We had a rank. You were like, if you're in the top 1%, you were obsessive about what number you got.
Yeah.
And 16 was pretty good for a girl who didn't take all honors classes.
Yeah.
But once I learned that I'm smart, but I'm not as smart as my smart friends, that's when I started to feel like we're going to need something. And I've really brought out my theater arts comedy personality.
Was there a lot of dumb people in your high school too?
We're going to kind of not address that in case they're listening today.
No, you're not.
I guess I just said the answer that way.
You can name names if you want.
I was in some honors classes and I was in some non-honors classes, so I got a great cross section of everybody.
I'm just wondering where I would fit in. I think that's really what the question is. I would be somewhere in the.
I think you'd be like me, where we took honors calculus, but fuck honors government and history. Okay,
actually, that's probably more likely I would have been in the government and the history.
Nerd out.
Yeah, then the calculus.
Mather.
Oh yeah, Mather.
It was kind of my thing because sine cosine. It's so easy to understand the waves.
I remember those a little bit. Were you really were good at math?
For some reason, no. I know why. I used to. Well, my sister was in orchestra, so when it was time to do homework, I would open the bathroom doors between us, and while she played violin and practiced, I would do the math homework. And man, it's just like they say Mozart for babies. Or I started playing the classical channel, whatever our NPR was. And oh my God, it helped me get that homework done. There is a total association there.
It helps the classical music to get work done, concentrate and all that. What were you what did you do for fun when you were 5, 6, 7 years old, when you were real young or younger than high school? We'll get to high school. Yeah,
I think I would order a lot of things, like magic books from the library, how to make your own finger puppets.
You always loved perforing.
Yeah, I just wanted to always create.
Yeah.
Very much like your last guest. There's always something to make.
Yeah.
Like I could actually finish writing a book in a day when I was 10. Wonder why I can't do that now.
Why?
Really long pause.
Why can't you do that now?
I don't know, Adam.
Because your standards are high. Maybe
I'm blocked.
I'm
blocked in my
blocked.
I'm blocked at my 3rd, my 5th, and my 7th. And I don't know, maybe I didn't judge myself back then, Also, someone was always making the food for me. Someone was always making sure I was fed and nourished.
Yeah, now you got to do that on your own.
Right, when you have to go and take care of all your needs.
It takes time.
It takes time.
Takes time to do that. So you always, what do you remember about performing specifically when you were younger? What were you said you did finger puppets? Like, what's the earliest performing things you did? Singing, dancing, finger puppets, comedy?
I was asked to be, this is being a combination of being a good student and possibly the one student who could be trusted with the important content by being a well-behaved girl. There was a class play.
This is how old were you?
I think I'm 6.
Okay.
And there's some early jealousy starts forming that I'm not being cast as characters.
Oh, there's already drama.
But they're giving me the narrator or the introduction.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a beautiful little picture of me looking up. My hands are behind my back and I just look so professional on this little, while my mom says all these other girls were giggling in the back. They look so stupid. And then, that gives you some confidence. But then I'm saying, welcome parents. We hope that you'll enjoy our show. And she kind of worked it with me and worked it so that it sounded sweet and natural.
Yeah.
And I think that is who I am. I'm a host.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me bring people into and then other people get to make y'all laugh. Fuck that. So that's just who I got to be. I got to be that person that people can I can relax knowing she's the one who is inviting me. And I don't know why I was never seen. It's because I was well behaved as the goofy one, the one who could be the lead in a play, you know? I never got those roles.
Do you think that you were cast as that host narrator person because they knew you were like mature enough to handle that?
That's gotta
Whereas
be,
it's more like
maturity.
because you actually had to had to say specific things to the audience to get the show started. And
yeah, you have to have a confident presence, right? Like you gotta. If you go up there, and most people hate public speaking, right?
Yeah.
So right away, I was developing a skill that, and I think it's because there's a rebellion in me. If no one else can do this thing, I want to be good at it. If everybody hates this thing, then I'm going to be good at it. That's probably why I'm a public speaker, because knowing it scares 99% of the population, then I'm going to go be good at it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Does that mean I'm going to be good at death? Please edit that. That's a scary thought.
Because
those are the two biggest fears.
Right, of course, yeah.
And taxes?
Yeah.
I'm good at those.
Yeah. I'm scared of all of those things.
I'm waiting on a $500 tax refund. Let's change the subject.
Yeah.
So depressing. Host narrator.
Yeah.
I was mature. Is that your take on it, Adam? That's so healing to me, because I thought I'm boring and they don't know how funny I am.
Well, I was more asking it as a question. But sure, we can...
I think I had good enunciation.
Yeah.
I was a good language arts student.
Yeah, you weren't more on like the rest of the kids who were going to probably flub their lines, so we might as well give them something.
Giggling Michelle.
Yeah. Call her out on that shit years later.
She better not be listening. We went to Mangum Oaks preschool, and my best friend at the time hated me. We're only covering my childhood, by the way.
Yeah.
Robin Williams will have to wait.
Yeah, your best friend hated you? What kind of best friend is that?
Well,
That doesn't even make sense.
she was just sweet and soft-spoken. I think we've been in touch on Facebook. Oh, I should apologize to her. Amy, I'm sorry. There was like the teacher leaves the room, and then we're all left on our own. Somebody creates the game of a two-sided war. So they set up these bookshelves
This is like 7 years old or 6 years old?
5 or something.
Really
young.
This is a falling out you had.
Preschool. And then I'm on this side. She ends up on the other. And I'm not a bad kid.
Yeah.
Okay, so like some little runt is the one saying, "You're stupid."
Yeah.
And it's all about who can insult who.
Yeah.
But my memory is that I sit next to the runt and I give him the verbal ammo. I whisper it because I'm smart.
So you're
I
feeding
know
someone
words.
else on your team's line what to say. You're already writing.
I'm the ammo.
You're writing. And the insult comedy and all this, I can see this is the origins of it.
Oh my God, no wonder Wild and Out. Jesus. I didn't think I was a bad kid, and she told on us. And so, of course, I'm part of that.
Yeah, because you were writing all the mean jokes.
Yes, and it's implying that these were, I think she got called a poo-poo head on my account. And
that was your material back then, was poo-poo head? But that was...
Come on, that's pretty good.
Because they were all probably just saying you're poo-poo. And then you added the head.
Bam. You get really specific.
You were taking it to the next level.
Right on that 7th chakra.
Yeah.
Clean that shit off.
I don't even know what to say.
I didn't start cursing till I was 12. That was about bonding with my dad. It had to have been.
Your dad curses a lot?
Well, it's just like he never had a son. It's me and my sister. And I think I was always trying to do boyish things.
Like what?
Curse.
Yeah, okay.
Try to get a skateboard somehow into my childhood. I don't know. It's
just own a skateboard.
I'll be the boy you never had. You know, like just to win their approval. We have such fucked up patterns controlling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
This is the stuff I hit in my meditations.
No, I know.
How many siblings are in your family?
Just older sister.
Were both of you were wanted and all that?
We were wanted.
Good.
I wasn't planned, but
Me too. What does it mean when they tell you that? You weren't planned, but...
What does it mean in terms of what?
Yeah, that we're fucking accidents, Adam. That's what they're telling us.
So that means we're not responsible for any of the things that we do in our
Really?
lives.
Okay.
Sure.
So
I
we
didn't ask to
fuck
be
up,
here.
sit here in front of all of you, and we get to tell you that if something good goes in our lives, it's
Who's
a
we?
happy accident, right? Right? People like
Sure.
us. But if something bad happens, it was an accident.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
We were not planned.
Yeah.
That's how she said it to me. She's like, well,
No, that's how we know.
you were not planned.
Yeah.
I thought I should be more angry about this news, but I wasn't.
Why does a kid get angry about that?
Yeah, it's like, I need a reason to hate you, Mom and Dad.
No, I don't.
But I didn't feel that. I was just
Yeah.
like, cool. I'm glad she told me. That's kind of cool of her.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go outside now. I'll see you later. I'll be back for dinner.
I think I tried to make up a fake fight after that. It's like, I need a reason to say, yeah, well, that's because you didn't plan me.
Yeah.
Just something stupid.
Yeah.
And it led to a fight where I didn't talk to her for 4 months.
I'm also only 18 months younger than my sister, so it was probably fairly obvious that they wanted some more time in between. Probably would have been better.
More time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irish twins, I think they call it.
So then what are we? 20, 22 months? 23 months?
Yeah, they
25
probably
months?
wanted a little. Your older
Little more
sister?
time.
Older
Yeah.
sister, okay.
She's October, I'm September. So they got an extra month.
Yeah.
They got the 2 years apart.
I'm not good at math like you.
There's no myth in your life.
No, there was math.
That's Chicago. Myth.
Math.
What would Long Island say?
Math.
Meth?
Math.
Myth.
Math. I'm a math head.
Yeah. Which came up in the piece you saw me do.
Yeah.
What did you take away from that?
It was a piece where you were talking about dealing with the work problem.
Someone angry at my work.
Someone angry at your work. Well, why don't you explain a little more what exactly the piece was beyond what I just said about the work problem? then I'll respond.
So Lena and Satya put together a Bollywood, sort of like a India celebration. August 15th is India Independence Day. And they asked me for my piece, could you tell a story? Let it educate us on something. So I talked about a concept called Pratipaksha Bhavanam, which is from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. It is a method to meditate on some negative situation that's happened in your life. You sit with it until a positive thought can be cultivated. And we've probably all done this.
Right.
You're
That's what I was just going to say. That's what crossed my mind, is the fact that I'd done this before. And just the fact that to hear you tell the story of how, like, you know, resilience. It was pretty inspiring to hear that story.
Thank you.
For sure.
Wow,
and hear how
Adam. I want to take a picture of your
what I'm
inspiration
saying,
right
of what
now.
I'm saying.
That means so much to me. That's what I wanted to give
No,
away.
it was moving to hear all that, for sure. Like the way you dealt with that boss who was impatient, but then you also were able to have fresh eyes on yourself and make changes with how you were handling, even though the guy was a dick or was being kind of a dickish to you, and you were really in the right and he was kind of being unreasonable, you still asked yourself, what can I do to control this situation and change things, with your actions, but also your attitude. I think is probably the two things, like your attitude and your actions. You were questioning and change them.
I think just that idea that what if we all didn't react? Somebody's pissing us off with their horrible behavior. Of course we're going to react. Like, fuck you. We all get defensive.
Right.
But when we have time, space, distance to actually sit, I just believe intelligent thoughts will come to us.
Right.
Where, let me just look at that. Let me just take that again. I did go over time. Right? I've been told that at Improv Olympic West. Don't ever go over time. And I just put on a fundraiser. Like, don't come at me like that. But they're right. We went 14 minutes over and we made other people late.
Yeah.
I got to look at my part. And so you do get to kind of get to this place of like, yes, they were a dick. Yes, they should have never come at me that way. However, what if it happened again? What can I do to prevent it happening again so that it never happens again? Because he opened the door, was like, I just feel like I should let you go. And old me would have said, okay, or I'm going to quit. Then I'd have no money. We know we can't do that. So what can we do different? What can I do next time so that I have all the power? And basically I talk about, this man interrupted. He said I went over. I just mastered how to end it right before time. And that's also just a great skill.
Right.
Like people think it's magic when we end at 11:59 or I take them on a walk and we come back and it's 11:57 and like I didn't take a clock with me. We just can feel time now. So every time, Adam, I've dealt with someone difficult, I end up growing from it. I've dealt with really difficult addicts there, and we all want the easy ones.
This is where that you...
At a rehab that I teach yoga at.
Gotcha.
And people are recovering from drugs and alcohol, hard stuff. They're not trying to quit weed. This is heroin, crystal meth. They are agitated people, and they're still thinking about using. They may not even want what we're trying to teach them. Oh, meditate, so that you can learn how to calm yourself. They're not even there. They're still planning their next, I got to get out and get high.
Yeah.
So trying to break through that and teach these techniques, there's really rebellious, resistant people. They're the ones who I think I grow the most from them. I'm always growing from the people who really fucking challenge me.
Makes sense.
I guess, right? And that's all I care about. Am I growing? Did I get better at something? Cool. And then I'm just finding that, okay, the more I stand in the stuff I'm growing and my power, and I come back and I'm not going to be affected by you, now he's changing his behavior. What?
I think there's something about like the fact that the person was being resistant to you. I mean, I'm just thinking of an example, like where someone's being resistant to you, one of your patients is what you call it, and you're reacting maybe emotionally to it and not being responsive, like in a way that's helping him. You're just annoyed that you're not having success, like doing what you want, or there to do. But once you, what did you say you did? You said you,
I sat with it. I thought about how I could,
Yep. I was gonna say once you became unaffected by him, that's when maybe he started to.
Yeah, because
be
then
more
he could
receptive.
act up. But and
wasn't
everybody
affecting
was
you.
saying you're too sensitive around here and you need to toughen your skin. And my mom has said that my
Right.
whole life. So it isn't that you don't continue to get affected. Artists and sensitive people will always be affected. We cannot help it. It's who we
Of
are.
course.
Or empaths, whatever. But if we can get quicker at also to go to that space where you can turn this around and see it a different way and reframe it, then it can reduce that charge in our body that we might have held as trauma, which will now forever affect how I go in and get a job, then you've built this other garbage on top of it, where instead it's like, okay, this is about managing you called it. It's managing my own emotion. Bullshit's going to happen. Okay, how much can I just stand here and let this person run circles around the tree? Meanwhile, I'm not going anywhere, which is actually effective parenting. The kid is acting up, but a solid parent shouldn't go anywhere. And as a nanny, I've made this mistake. Kids will be doing this terrible behavior, and I'm like, I'm just going to go to the other room until, you can say that until you're ready to calm down. But a truly solid person is able to stand there while somebody is doing this so that they learn, okay, well, no matter how bad I act, she didn't abandon me.
Right.
They're going to test you, but it's like the more unaffected we are, the more they want to rise to the occasion of that behavior. Like, oh, it's actually possible to not act like that, because I'm seeing the model of it's actually possible to stay very calm right now.
Yeah, and I think especially with addicts who probably, like you're describing, probably with people who've been through a lot and had a lot of people probably come and go in and out of their lives.
Yeah.
Once they realize that you're not going to abandon them, I'm sure that's helpful.
It's so fulfilling. It's like, I'm just trying to sit there and be one of those people that y'all can come to, and I'm not going to judge you. I've had a journey of I was a very codependent yoga teacher. If they relapsed, what did I do? What did I not do enough of?
Yeah.
And I've had to work on that too, of if they relapse,
it's not all on you.
It's not me. It's
Yeah.
okay, they'll learn, and then I'm still here when they're, hey, glad to see you again. And that's it. take two, and it's kind of cool.
It's almost like, I don't know, for me, I tell myself it's okay to like experience a negative emotion, feel the negative emotion, but not to be consumed by the negative emotions.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, turn it on its head, or think of, try to figure out, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Get into that. How can I flip it on the other person if it's some other person creating drama in your life?
Especially if you're attracting a lot of drama. It's just like, or there's some like I felt this emotion the 5th time this week. What's going on? Why would you not want to look at that? Like, why wouldn't you want to grow from things keep pissing me off? Oh, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not going to the bathroom or eating when I should.
I think people are comfortable in their misery, whatever if their comfort, if anger is their kind of normal
their
state.
go-to.
Not that that's ever going to be healthy for anyone, but if that's what you're used to, that's the world. It's hard to escape some of those patterns, I guess. I was going to ask you what came first, is like as far as your journey. Is it more performing like professionally in a more organized way in your life, or was it the teaching yoga? What came first in your life? Is the yoga a newer thing, or is that something you've always done your whole life? How did that all get started? Like, where does that all come from?
It's so cool because I think Chicago is where I approached both at the exact same time.
You were in Second City in Chicago.
Yes, it was 1999, and I was working at Leo Burnett as a copywriter in my major from school. The person who writes the copy, UT Austin.
And you were there 4 years, and
4 years, yeah. I was an advertising major, and that industry is, you're selling shit.
You're selling shit people don't need.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have to sell it.
You get
they don't advertise
that really fast. Yeah.
They don't advertise apples because people know.
And a lot of these people, they want to be like Nike, but they're like a bank. And at the end of the day, they just want to show their boring ass logo. They don't want to be creative. So then I'm really like, what am I doing with my time?
Yeah.
But they were offering Second City tuition readjustment. So I took the whole curriculum on their dime. Improv classes.
So the advertising firm you're working for paid for you to go through Second City training.
See, they will usually just see people go through level A or B because
they want experience.
They know that this will help you with your presentations. Right. Take some improv classes. Get out of your way. But then I'm just over here falling in love with and creating scenes together and like, oh my God, I've got to do this if I want to do stand-up.
It was all improv or sketch?
It was mostly sketch and improv. And I was kind of looking at being a stand-up comedian, and I thought there's something certain stand-ups were doing that I wanted to learn how to do, that if a heckler threw something at them while they're doing their material, they knew how to handle it. And I was like, that's improv. Oh, they're just going off script. And there was some other stuff people were like, they would know how to riff off each other. And I was like, I need that skill.
Yeah.
So I wanted more improv. And I'm so glad I did it. And right at around this time, Chicago is fucking cold. And I had never before lived in a big city by myself. And I would walk during the summers, like past Lake Michigan to get home. And there were yoga studios everywhere. And in the winter, you really notice that when you go inside of the yoga studio, it's warm and it just feels so good.
So you got into yoga for the heat.
Maybe I got into
not even hot yoga, just working,
just regular
working
yoga
heat.
Where the heats are on.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was like, oh, and it became very apparent to me that while improv is going to feed my mind, this thing's going to help me keep my body healthy. And it's just like I fell in love with both things at the same time.
Same time, instantaneously in Chicago.
And you have met me at a very interesting time because I feel this is my journey. If you can describe this shape.
I don't know that I want to.
Is that a watch?
I'm not going to say
a reverse hourglass.
I'm not going to say what you just.
I don't know what you're picturing.
I think you know. I'm not going to.
Let's just say we started with yoga and comedy. Then we came to LA, tried everything, which when you have ADHD is not good. You need to pick. And all the quitting and trying and quitting and scatterbrain. Let's try this. We're back to here with yoga and comedy.
Yeah, and that's where you belong.
Bam, my journey.
I think that's
as you got to see.
Yeah, and you work it right into your.
Yeah.
What I've been thinking more about that is living an integrated life for sure. Where where my social life and my creative life and even different aspects of those things are all sort of integrated in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it sounds like you're
Maybe I'll have to do like a live chakra session the next time I'm on stage.
I don't know what you got to do,
that
but I'll
be
check it out.
Kind of funny. I'm writing it in my head right now. This is good.
Yeah, don't pay attention to me.
When are we going to talk about Robin Williams?
We're going to get there. Well, I was going to
hit him up with that link. What is this, a 3-hour taping?
How long have we been talking here? Well, we didn't really start until 12.
Don't you 14. Edit out my gold.
The gold.
You know, my concern is I sound so fucking brilliant right now, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hate my voice, and I'm going to go, God, I sound crazy. When am I going to shut up? I hate that.
I think you're fine.
Cool.
Well, I was going to ask, when did Robin Williams first come into your life? Because he's been making movies and being a creative man for quite some time. Well, he was. I'm going to stop talking now and just let you talk about your Robin Williams.
I never used to watch Mork and Mindy, so it wasn't that. I think I was watching when I had a Showtime video card to go get videotapes.
Hollywood Video?
During
Showtime?
one summer. It was called Showtime Video.
In Houston?
In Houston, good old Houston. I was renting things like Good Morning Vietnam. I would watch a lot of Chevy Chase movies. But then he came onto my radar. And then I think Mrs. Doubtfire came out.
Oh, yeah.
And that movie, I just have like tapes of me recording my voice, doing impressions from that movie where he's got the cake on his face and he says, hello, like just little moments that I'm acting them out. And it's like this love affair. The Aladdin Genie. This was all happening around 1994, I think. He was in a lot of movies at that time.
He's always been in a lot of movies all the time. Like really since he started doing movies, he's been in movies. There's no
so you're saying it's coke, right? Like I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
But that can't be the only thing that made him go here, there, everywhere. Like to watch that brilliance, right?
Well, he was already that. It just made him more of that, or just I don't know.
So we could speculate.
What's up?
There's also a genius there, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe coke enhanced what's there.
Yeah. So not everyone who uses cocaine is a genius. Believe it or not.
We got to highlight that wisdom. Don't do drugs, kids. So there's, I would watch the way he'd do that. And I think something got in my head that the style I want to be on stage, I termed it spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, I think you're like that off stage too a little bit. I can tell.
And so my hope is that that's what I really start honing is I put in the frickin' time and preparation to then be able to be totally loose, able to go off page, but really know where I want to take y'all.
Sure.
You know what I mean? In that way where he could kind of go bam, 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 free association. Like that's where improv skill comes in.
Yeah, it comes to a point where it's second nature. You're just reacting.
Yeah.
Like a baseball, like a hitter, like a batter in baseball, they practice for hours and hours with specific training and skills that they're working on and things to look for and things to expect when they go up to the plate. But then when they go up there, just got to see the ball and react to what you're seeing and trust that the skills and all the hours and hours of training that you've done will be there for you. And
I know I've shortchanged myself a lot. I wouldn't put in the time when I should have. And the only time even I'm having fun is when I know I delivered that quality of genius. I think it's not that an audience was bad and now I want to quit, right? It's you didn't put in everything. So then you didn't hit that stage orgasm feeling. And now you want to quit because what? You hate the prep process. You hate the result from a bad prep process. Why don't I go for broke in the beginning, put in the fucking blood, sweat, and tears so that I can do what I'm so proud that y'all got to see that. That's the product of a Rasika who put in the time.
Yeah, you won't, even if the audience doesn't react 100% the way you want them to, you won't be regretting that you didn't leave everything out on the stage.
Totally. And if I can start doing what I just saw myself do, then that's it. The gigs don't have to be that often, but it's like, let's go for quality right now until I start loving this process, because my magic number is I have to have rehearsed it 11 times for it to be cemented in there. And then I can just be like, play with it, and new discoveries are happening on stage.
You're talking about rehearsing any particular part,
anything
role,
that I've
story.
written, sure. And then I'm like, I have an audition tomorrow, and I was like, Rasika, 11 times. Just do it 11 times.
And you're talking about 11 times, not after you have whatever it is memorized, doing it 11 times.
It could sometimes also be part of the
that's part of it.
One pass was trying to get off book.
Okay.
That thing is about 2 pages long. And I think I cheated myself. I did only do it 6 times. But for 6 times, damn.
Why don't you tell me more about your other Robin Williams memories and movies or moments and things about that, and we'll get to when you eventually met him.
So I think I put him out of my mind. I went on with my improv education, and I might have been one of the only people in LA who got paid to improvise by doing aforementioned Wild and Out. Pretty cool. And on that show, too, we had to be a little spontaneous. You could write your jokes. You're going up against rappers and insult comics. So it's good to be prepared. And sometimes in a show, you want to make good TV. So we might have not told anyone what we were going to say, but we'd say, I'm coming after you. And then they'll say, okay, so then I've got something for you. So we could at least coordinate that way as enemies. But there are times where I had no idea what would come out of my mouth. And I was in a real trusting place. And I could just unleash these improvised raps. That's pretty cool. You also saw me do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I wish I could trust 100% in my ability to do that. I think when I go to a place that is so relaxed, I'm able to improvise rhymes really well. But when I'm worrying, I can't. And that's the rub.
Yeah.
So you can't really bank on that as a skill. Otherwise, motherfucker, I'd be rich right now. So I don't know if there's too much in between about Robin Williams. There's watching him. There's seeing the kind of career he had. There's seeing the turn in the kind of movie he started to make, like Patch Adams and Awakenings. It's kind of like Jim Carrey. They stopped making the fun
they
for all ages. They want
to take out more dramatic roles.
Yeah, just meaningful stuff. Like those movies are amazing. And to know they had a heart. So Good Will Hunting is the most famous example.
Of course, yeah.
And I tried to go back and rewatch. I wanted to prep for your interview. And there's nothing on Netflix of Robin Williams' catalog except RV.
How is that possible?
It's called RV. Probably not one of his best hits.
Yeah. No, I don't believe so.
But I watched it anyway. It was great.
Yeah, there you go. You're
very timely. It was during Burning Man week.
You're a true fan.
I am. I'm dedicated.
So how did you actually meet him? How did that all come together? What was that?
Oh my God. It's such synchronicity. Okay. So it was 2009. And I'm performing around the country with my sketch comedy group, Siblings of Doctors. We are Indian, and we did not become doctors. We were the siblings. So it's Ranjit Sauri, who wrote my Wikipedia page, Danny Pudi, who people most famously know from Community, Abed, and myself. And we were getting to play in Chicago, play in LA, play in San Francisco.
That's awesome.
And the San Francisco Sketch Fest that year, actually it's 2008, we got to go to Mill Valley. We had never heard of this tiny little city, but other people have.
They got wine there.
Oh, really?
Got wine up there.
We just thought, okay, we'll just go do this show. We're not in San Francisco proper, but if this is where they want us. Talk about a God shot if this is where they want us, because they were putting people in San Francisco and we were kind of bummed. Like, where the fuck is this bumblefuck town that we're having to drive to? We had to rent a car to go out there. We almost got killed on the freeway by an 18-wheeler for Bud Light. And because it's a new city for us. And I don't know which of the guys was driving. We had rented some little yellow Volkswagen Bug. And just kind of went through hell and back to get there. We made it to the Throckmorton Theater. But then when we got there, the space is quite beautiful, very famous, very well known. And I remember that we found out what time we're on, and we go up to look at our space, and we're sitting at the very top to talk to the tech guy, and we're looking down at the bottom.
This is like backstage.
This is in the actual theater. We're like, we're going to be people aren't even going to be able to see our faces if they're sitting at the top. It's just it's a huge theater.
Yeah, I was going to ask how big
and we only are doing a 15-minute set. It's like blackout. I rap. I do the sorry rap, which we wrote. It's my most famous rap, which you can also see on YouTube. So this is some of our bits. We did a little scene about cricket that Ranjit and Danny do, which is a play on Who's on First, but it's using cricket terms.
That's funny.
Just a lot of fun, our best stuff.
And this was just 15 minutes for all of you.
For our show, yeah.
Just for the three
group.
of you guys.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
And so I think some people maybe had 30, but we were okay, whatever. We're the novelty act. And that was it. So then we go to our green room, I think, to kind of chill out, meet some of the other acts.
After the show?
Yeah.
After your show.
We're told that we should, I'm not sure of the order of things here.
That's okay.
But we hear it's good to see the other people who are on the list, see their show, and mingle with them. So someone leaves, the group leaves, and it's just me and the guys. And then a new person walks in with someone else. And it is Robin fucking Williams.
In the green room backstage
and,
when you guys are...
Yeah. We think we're in the... Should we leave?
Yeah.
And of course, what do you think he says? No. I mean, this man's heart was so, I'm going to say is, okay, because it's so real to me. It's so big, his presence. They weren't lying when they say he would hire homeless people for his sets, right? So I think I wrote this in the description as just, he could be so open with you if you're a beginning improviser, a midliner in a set, a very accomplished comic. He didn't. I see people at levels and status. He did not. So we're all in there, and what do we start doing but just talking to him like we're all bros. He makes it so easy to just talk to him. And I did ask, I said, I'm sorry, but can I please tape this? I can't believe this is even happening right now. We might have died on our way here.
You're telling him all
we
this.
We came to Mill Valley wanting to perform, and now we're on the bill with you. He was the surprise act.
So you didn't know?
No, but everyone there knew because he's from Mill Valley.
I was going to say he's from that area.
What? Now we understand. Oh my God, that's why we're here. Now I'm just even thinking my life's had so much magic and synchronicity. This is also why I see it's okay for me to be here on my birthday. I'm celebrating this huge moment in my life where you meet your idol. You got stage time with him. And then we all go to watch his set from way up top. And I'm watching him. People say he took their material, but what I experienced is he quoted me. He started quoting me because he was just saying, oh my God, weren't those Indian guys brilliant? And then he started to say stuff about our act.
That's amazing.
He quoted my rap and then he did a little take on it. He did the little, like, and you'll see him, this video that I got to tape. Like, we are watching this man talk about us on stage. What?
Oh, so he this was after his...
Yeah.
He came backstage after his performance, after he had already talked about you guys on the stage.
Or we met him in between, right? Like, we do our set, we meet him, then we get to go out and watch him.
Gotcha, okay.
And, I mean, just the whole thing, did this... Am
Total blur.
I on a high camera right now? Did it happen? Yes, I have evidence. So... I think the PR woman who was with him said, honey, I just got to ask you, please don't release this. And I said, no, this is just for me. No one will believe me. And then when he died, I thought, well,
yeah.
And everyone was releasing things that
Sure,
they had of him
that
because
happens,
how else
yeah.
do you celebrate? And it's been 5 years. It's the 5-year anniversary. So every magazine is talking about him right now. And a lot of people are doing their memoriams, pictures that were never released. Photographers who worked with him are putting stuff out there. Quiet moments. Like this one.
She's got a magazine right
Vibe.
here, Ojai Monthly, Summer 2019 with Robert Williams, a young Robert Williams with a mustache on the cover here.
He used to go to Ojai Coffee Roasters. And so I sat there with Zephyr and we had a nice cup in his honor. Where is that nice article on him? So there's a video. It's out there. I would love for everyone to see it and enjoy it because the man is just riffing with us.
What was everyone's reaction afterwards when you I mean, I guess you probably showed everyone the video.
I held good to my word. I didn't
not
show
put it online.
anybody.
I'm just talking about showing people the video. You probably showed people.
No.
You didn't even show people the video?
Nope.
How could you not show people the video? That's different.
Because I was expressly told not to, and I keep my word.
I thought that meant just not putting it publicly, but you can like show people on your phone.
I might have shown my sister.
Yeah, I showed a few people. But you told people that this happened.
Oh yeah.
And what was their reaction to that?
They, everyone's jaw drops. Everyone says, no way. There's no way. Then people say the rude shit. Was he high? Did he copy you? Garbage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't like to dishonor like that.
Yeah.
I like to look at people for their good qualities.
Sure.
And these are just some lovely moments.
Yeah, we're looking at some pictures here right now of Robin Williams.
Just like stuff like with his kids. Like, look how cute this is. Just being a dad, making voices, reading to your kid. Like,
yeah.
And for them, it's just like, oh, it's just dad doing voices. But like, the rest of the world is like, can you be my dad?
Can you be my nanny?
So I'm also that kind of nanny. I'm spontaneous combustion.
What is that? What nanny? What is that?
It means you should hire me if you want me to watch your kids and do voices while they're going to bed.
Oh, your whole nanny style must be like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Oh my God, Adam, that's where I get it from. Yes. So he's been a big influence on how I am with kids.
He must be. The voices, the performing, the energy.
Just making fun for them. Yeah. And there's days I don't have that fucking energy. And I want people to leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I'm very much like him.
Yeah. But I'm guessing that you don't have those days too often, or do you?
They are thankfully fewer and farther between.
Yeah. I guess life circumstances can dictate when those days come and go, I suppose. So
I do a lot more meditation than I've ever done in my life. So I've quieted that part of my mind.
How often do you meditate?
I try to now do it every morning. And then as needed throughout the day.
How did you get into the teaching of the meditation? You teach yoga.
Let's go back to 1999.
Yeah, because
when I first took my first yoga class. That teacher asked me to sub because she was going to be out of town. She's like, I've seen you. You seem like you know the routine and you're very dedicated.
After a period of time.
Yeah. And she's just like, can you lead when I'm gone? And I was like, yes. And then it's like a 10-minute train ride from my place to that gym. And I was late teaching something so important. I was late. I missed it. I don't even know what happened to the class that evening. I fucked up.
Yeah.
Her class didn't get taught. She was pissed. And she was more pissed when she found out I got my own class. I got 2 classes out of being asked to sub. I think I started late. I don't know what I did. But that's the fear that went on to carry with me is, what if someone asks me to sub and then they hate me because I'm so good, I get my own class out of it.
Yeah.
That replacing people, or then I have that fear. What if they sub for me and now they don't want me, they want them?
Yeah.
It's terrible. I don't really think like that anymore. Now I feel like there's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
But
They could be a
those
starting
were-
quarterback for a different team. You'd be the starting quarterback for your team.
Yeah,
think that makes
athletes
sense.
loved her and old people loved me.
Yeah, you got your audience.
Exactly. There's enough podcast for everybody.
I hope so, because I hear that the market is quite saturated with them.
I love how many people talk about loving their family members. I
Yeah.
wanted to keep going to the famous people, and it just kept saying mom, dad, grandmother, mom.
Well, with this show, I always tell the guests, it's not as if you have to just talk about Robin Williams from start to finish. If you talk about anyone else who had impact or influence on you, I'm going to edit that out. And so it's not quite
Yeah.
like that.
Well, what gave you this idea to
What
do
gave me?
this?
Oh, we're flipping
What-
it.
Yeah, what is people we love? Where
What-
did that come from?
Where did that come from?
Because you have a closed heart chakra, but you're easily creating love in other people. So do you see how addiction works, how trauma works? You can help other people, but you can't fucking help yourself.
Yeah.
When are you going to do episode 100? People Adam loves.
I had that thought where someone could interview
You
me.
have to.
Maybe you'll be the interview. It's just a thought off the top
Holy
of my head.
shit, we're creating a future. This is fucking
Just 'cause
awesome.
just because you're the one who's bringing this
I'm the
up.
one. I have to be the host. And then you'll make really good friends with some dude at a bar, and you'll ask him to be the host. And then you'll say, I wonder if Rasika remembers. We're going to get out of this awkward agreement.
Yeah, when I meet someone who's I don't know.
He's going to allow you to drink during the show.
Yeah, some A-list.
And you'll know that I'm kind of straight edge.
Yeah, if Seth Rogen wants to do the interview, I'll have
Wow. So I'm still beneath Seth Rogen.
to.
He was fun to audition with, though. Very nice guy.
What was that all about?
It was just so fun. I think it was for Superbad. It's the role that eventually went to Mindy Kaling, but I got to play with him.
Yeah.
And I just said, he's like, I'm Seth. And I said, I know.
Yeah.
You're funny or something.
Yeah.
I was really unoriginal. And he just had that cute, what is it? Humble laugh. Not a dick at all.
Something like that.
Yeah. Like every person he meets, it's a joy to meet them. Kind of like Robin. There's no ego on some of these people. And then I auditioned for Judd Apatow. Was it Judd Apatow or Hank Azaria was in a room? Also nice guy. People aren't dicks.
There are some nice. I mean, just talking to.
That's a good podcast. People aren't dicks.
Yeah, just talking to podcast guest after podcast guest and talking about their experiences working in entertainment, you find out that not everyone is an asshole.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I hope people have a good impression of me.
Yeah.
She's sweet, a little high pitched, but kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But
They will definitely have an impression. I won't be the one to articulate everyone's impression. That's up to them to.
oh fuck.
I can't tell everyone.
The editing tells another story. I have one more very cool synchronistic connection that came out of the night you saw me perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. So there was this gorgeous woman in the audience. I don't know if you saw her, and I don't know if you know her. But I was like, who is this woman? I know I've seen her before. Fuck, it's a famous actress. Oh my God, I'm about to perform in front of her. And then I put it together. It's one of my favorite teachers at Yoga Works. And so that person got to see me do this piece on yoga and meditation. And the person that we're talking about, she's going to be on the new season of Glow, which
That's
is a
awesome.
show that you love. I saw that in your thing. See, you don't even remember saying that. And I look at your bio like, oh, I could talk about that with him. And you're like, yeah, so I like 56 shows on Netflix.
I don't remember what the hell I said. Who knows what the hell I said?
Anyway, she was there that night. Like, Pack Theater's kind of small, easy to pack. But from the people who were there, it's kind of like a little who's who. It's pretty cool. And we bring it all back around to the fact that a month ago I said, I want to start performing at the Pack Theater. And I want to have people around me, like either coming in with me as entourage or other players. And then bam, with Lena's invitation, I think it came 5 days after I said that. So I'm a manifester. Let's go back to our chakra chart. Manifesting is real. I've just been saying and thinking things and then they start happening. Oh, maybe I'm a witch.
That's like LeVar Ball, that the basketball coach who envisioned his son in the NBA, and then it happened.
What's his name?
LeVar Ball.
His name is LeVar Ball?
Yeah.
As in, I'm a baller.
Basically, you can Google all
With
this
a
later.
name like that, that's amazing. He visualized his son being in the NBA?
That's what he says. He says, what is the phrase he uses? I speak it into existence. That's his go-to phrase.
So why don't we speak into existence the healing that you want, Adam?
Oh my God.
Based on this chart and the fact that I have to go and rehearse for this audition.
Yeah, 1 through 7, all the healing.
You want all the healing?
I was gonna say,
Let's just do 1 through 4. You have to work on your lower chakras, Adam, because otherwise you can't have a Kundalini awakening. You could literally float off the ground.
How do I work on my lower chakras?
And you have to. You just have to. You shouldn't even be working on 4 through 7 until you deal with dense energies.
Why? What do I do to work on that?
You have to
Besides my
do
breathing.
grounding for the first chakra, like the way she's sitting. You have to be comfortable with moving your hips and getting your hips open, your groin area.
Yeah.
Do a little physical work there. Squats are good. And then core, work with planks. Can you do the plank challenge?
Maybe.
Yeah, you just do 30 seconds for a few days, then you hold it for 45.
You're naming all the exercises I don't like doing.
Perfect.
Squats and
Your heart's
planks.
going to open after that.
Yeah.
And then
No, maybe the world's not ready for that.
this is more like what you just did. Bam. Like that.
Yeah, stretching out.
I think your heart chakra's open through this podcast,
Yeah,
Adam.
it's opening slowly.
Really, it really is. And this is the healing that you would get. Harmony, trust, lovingness, gentle with self. You like that reading voice? I'm a narrator.
Yeah. I
Able
heard.
to give and to receive without giving. Whoa, that's deep.
Yeah.
It's like you don't expect anything in return. Flexible.
I'm working on that.
Open to new people. I think you already are.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Some of them.
Growth. Coping with loss
Yeah.
and balance. Coping with loss.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's going to be okay.
it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, we covered a lot today. Why don't you tell me about what maybe, anything else you're working on, where people can follow you, anything else you want to talk about that you've done that you wanted to share? Because we randomly fell into a Seth Rogen story, maybe. I don't know.
I'm working on 3 different pilots, but they're all in completely beginner phases. I'm working on a series of books, but they're all in completely beginner phases. And I am teaching yoga in Fillmore. So you can actually come take class with me where we work with your chakras and you get to hear this lovely, soothing voice that won't call you a poo-poo head. Damn, my phone be blowing up on my birthday.
Look at you.
It's my birthday. Hey. It's from one of my earliest friends from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. You gotta wrap this up.
Yeah,
So I can give social media shit.
Yeah. Dude,
Okay.
I'm waiting on you.
So on the IG, you can catch me at Jalapeno Popper 2012. That has to do with how much I love jalapeno poppers. That's where I do mostly the comedy shit. And then my yoga account is Funny Yogini with one Y. So FUNNYOGINI. And then Twitter, you can unfollow presidents and then follow at Rossi Ross. RASIRAS.
Cool. Did we cover it? Did we get it?
My ADHD says we got it all.
Cool. Well, thanks again for your time. I appreciate you stopping by the studio. I learned a lot. We went on many journeys.
Tangents, we call them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about some of the past podcast guests that went on several tangents as well, and you're right there with all of them, and the tangent queen. You're there. You're in the running for top 2-3 tangent.
This was a spontaneously combustible podcast.
Yeah, you're spontaneously combusting.
He'd be proud.
Yeah, holding up the picture of Robin Williams. I'm a big fan too. Big influence on me as well.
I think you should watch RV tonight.
I maybe. All right, talk soon. So there you have it, my conversation with Rasika Mathur. That was a lot of fun. Glad I got to spend Rasika's birthday with her and help her celebrate her birthday, but also help her celebrate the life and work of Robin Williams. And I can't wait to go see Rasika perform comedy again real soon. Anyway, for everything about this show, check out peoplewelovepodcast.com. And I think that's about all I got for today. I appreciate you guys listening, and thanks as always. Let's talk soon. Peace.